Good evening, everyone. My name's Josh Rayner, and I work for JHP Recruitment Limited. Now, I've been working in the recruitment for 2 years now, and I've recruited numerous veterinary nurses, vet surgeons, veterinary care assistants, practice managers, receptionists, and clinical directors. Now, I'm here today to try and give you as much information as possible on the subject of everything you need to know about locuming. And I speak with candidates on a daily basis that are thinking of becoming a locum, and it can be daunting, and I'm sure you'll have lots of questions. And the aim of today is to try and answer as many of those questions as possible. So the things that we're going to go through this evening is the different options for getting paid, such as umbrella companies, limited companies, or self-employed. This tends to be where most of the questions are going to lie, so we'll give you the pros and cons for each of these to help you make your mind up of which will be best suited for you. Something else that we'll cover is who pays you and how you'll be paid. We'll also discuss the ways to find work, such as via your own contacts or via a recruitment agency. We'll also cover the different types of recruitment agencies that there are out there for you. We'll also touch base on the new IR35 regulation that is coming into effect as of 2017, plus other important information such as holiday pay, sick pay, and maternity pay. So firstly, how can I be paid as a locum, and the best way to be paid? So there's no right or wrong answer to this question, and it really depends on your own situation and what will be best suited for you. So in reality, you have three options, which are either to set up your own limited company, register yourself as self-employed, or to use an umbrella company. Now, each of these options may suit one person more than the other, so I'll go a bit more in depth of how each of them are going to work so you can then realise which one is going to be best suited for you. So option one is to set up your own limited company. This can be a fairly simple process and it can be completed online. You would incorporate a company with a HMRC and give it a name such as Jane's Locum Services, for example, or whatever you wanted to call it. You would then be the director of that company, and it would be your responsibility to ensure that your accounts are kept up to date and the end of year accounts are submitted to the HMRC via an accountant. Now, it costs approximately £15 to set this business up online, and I really would recommend that you do this yourself, as we've been told by a nurse before that she's asked her accountant to do it for her, and they charged her £400 for the privilege. So yeah, very much worth looking into and doing it yourself to save you a fair bit of pennies. And once you've had this business set up online, you'll then be sent a certificate of incorporation by the HMRC. This is usually sent to you through email, and this is essentially a proof of your company. You can then take this to the bank along with some ID and open up your business bank account in the company name. And then from there, you can then decide if you want to register for VAT. Now, if you decide that to become VAT registered, you would have to ensure that quarterly VAT returns are completed, and you could claim VAT back on any purchases for the business and charge VAT on your invoices, and then the difference will be paid to the HMRC. Most nurses that set up as a limited company decide not to register for VAT, as it doesn't tend to be cost effective and it becomes a bit more of a sort of paper shuffling exercise. You'll ideally need to set up your public liability insurance, and it may be a good idea to get yourself VDS cover, but we'll touch base a little later on in the lecture about the VDS cover. It sounds more complicated than it is, but once the business and the bank account are set up, it becomes very easy. And if you have an accountant in the family, then this would reduce the cost for you. If you don't, and you're looking to use an accountant, you look at an annual fee of about £300 to £500, depending on the accountant. Having a limited company means that you could work for nearly any practice in the UK, but with new legislations coming in from April 2017, you wouldn't be able to work for the public sector via a limited company. So in the veterinary industry, this only really applies to universities. Now, the benefit of a limited company would be that you would pay yourself a salary and dividends, which would reduce your personal tax bill greatly. However, you'll also pay corporation tax, so seriously consider chatting with an accountant before you jump in as a limited company locum to ensure that you're aware of exactly how it works. So now moving on to how to be paid and registering yourself as self-employed.